Hello, this is Kayla from Around the World Learning Group. I'm excited to share with you the second recipe that we'll be doing for our cook-along, and that is Liberian Jollof rice. In my last video, I showed you the ingredients that we're going to need for our Liberian rice bread, and I still need to go to the store. I made myself a shopping list and get myself raisins for the recipe. I put that on my shopping list, and I'm going to show you now what I have, the ingredients that I have that we're going to use for the jollof rice. And I also had to write something else on my shopping list as well that I'm going to need for that. And I'm going to be making it this week. And so I'm just going to show you the ingredients so far that I have for the jollof rice. And I'm going to show you the reference. And in this recipe was shared on a website called franktheater.org, and it is a theater in Minnesota. And they have recipes on their website. They have information about what they do in the theater, and they also have a list of recipes. And this Liberian jollof rice is one of their recipes. So the ingredients here, you're going to need a half a cup of vegetable oil. And you're going to need a pound of chicken, shrimp, fish, or other meat. And then also 3 to 4 cups of water or stock. So I have chicken and shrimp. I decided to put them both in. Thought that it'd be a good idea to use them both. So that'd be a good idea to use chicken and to use shrimp. 2 different proteins for our dish. And then I also have some chicken stock, and you're going to need 3 to 4 cups of the chicken stock. Or the chicken broth per se. The chicken broth here. You're going to need 3 to 4 cups of that, it says. Let's see here. Yeah, 3 to 4 cups of water or stock. You want to get a half of cup of onion finely chopped. So we'll chop up an onion. Onion here. Half a cup of onion. And then it asks for 4 cloves of garlic. I have this here. I have the garlic that we're going to use. And then it asks for 1 green or red pepper finely chopped. So I have some green pepper here. Green pepper, you can pick any color pepper you want. You can do a couple different colors of pepper, make it rainbow colored. Eat the rainbow. So you can green peppers. And then it asks for 2 cups of long grain rice. Now, I decided to do something a little different for myself, and I just got whole grain wheat rice. It's minute rice. It shouldn't take long to cook, but it does ask for the whole grain rice. And then it asks for a 6-ounce can of the tomato paste. And then it asks 1 16-ounce can of tomatoes diced. 2 chopped carrots. So we'll chop up some carrots. I actually have real carrots. This is just a bag of carrots that I'm showing you, but I have the real carrots that I'm going to peel and I'm going to chop. And then it asks for a cup of green beans. And so what I got here, I got some fresh green beans, and then it asks for a cup of shredded cabbage. So I got some nice purple shredded cabbage. And then it asks for a teaspoon of salt. So I got my salt here. And then it asks for a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And this is what I gotta go do now. I don't have time to make jollof rice, so I need to get myself some time. Thyme is the next spice that's gonna go into the jollof rice. And so I do not have time, so I need to put that on my shopping list. Thyme, thyme, the spice thyme. And then a teaspoon of crushed red pepper or fresh chilies. So I'm gonna go get myself some fresh pepper, fresh. I could either get myself fresh chilies, you can tell this is gonna be spicy, or crushed red pepper, and it says to use a teaspoon of that. So it's not like a whole ton of spice, but it's enough to make it kind of hot. And so I will go to the store and figure out what kind of red pepper to get. And then a half a teaspoon of ginger or allspice. So you can use either, and it's also optional. So I have some allspice here. And then it says vegetable options after that. It says that you can also add any or all of the following: mushrooms, eggplant, or squash. So basically the directions here, and we'll go over the directions as we go step by step in our recipe. In a skillet, so you need to get a skillet, you're going to saute the chicken, meat, or fish in a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. So that's kind of like a good amount of vegetable oil, a 1/4 cup. That's a little more oil than you would normally use in a recipe. Sometimes you'll put in a tablespoon or two, but this asks for a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. So you're going to saute the chicken, meat, or fish. So this will be the chicken and the shrimp for me. And then in the 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, then remove from heat and set aside in a larger pot. So I'll have to get a larger pot as well. So a saute pan and a larger pot. Add 2 to 3 cups of stock or water to chicken and simmer for 20 minutes. So we're going to simmer the chicken in the stock or the water. Meanwhile, while you're doing that, while it's simmering, saute the onion and green or red pepper until soft, about 4 to 5 minutes. Add garlic and saute 1 to 2 minutes longer. Stir rice into the onions and peppers, then add the tomato paste, stirring to coat rice and give it a reddish hue. Add the chopped tomatoes and let them cook down for several minutes, and pour this mixture over the chicken. Then you're going to add your vegetables. Add carrots, green beans, cabbage, and spices. Reduce heat to low, cover and simmer for 20 minutes. Serve on a platter and garnish with sliced hard-boiled egg, cilantro, or parsley. So you got, tasting the rainbow here, you got a really awesome source of protein with the chicken or the shrimp, or the fish, whichever meat you choose. And then at the end, you have another protein that you can put on top. You can put a hard-boiled egg on top. And then you have your vegetables. So you have your green beans and your carrots and your chopped and your chopped cabbage. And so you got a lot of in the red hue there. You got the diced tomatoes and the tomato paste. You got this nice red hue. You got some rice. You got some grains in there, so some protein. Excellent source of protein. Excellent grain rice. You're gonna use long grain rice or whichever type of rice that you choose. I'm gonna use wheat rice. And then you got your vegetables. So it sounds like it's gonna be an amazing recipe. Anything with garlic and onion and chicken and meat and fish sounds like it's going to be very delicious, along with this lovely tomato a tomato component to it, and then a little bit of spice to it. So that's kind of exciting. So we talked about our K, and that's what we already knew about. Um, what I already knew about Liberia going into it, which was not a lot of information. Basically, all I knew was that it was a place where freed slaves, former slaves, came. They came to Liberia from America, and they were sent back from the United States back to Africa, and they colonized the land and they started this country there, kind of like the Pilgrims in America, but they were pilgrims in Liberia, Africa, coming from America. So all I knew about that was what I had learned in history class about the country. And as I studied it longer, they've had several years of civil war and unrest. And now it seems like they see the light at the end of the tunnel, that things are starting to improve and get better in Liberia. And there's a lot of amazing things to learn. So I'm excited. In the next video, we're going to actually do our cook along. So we're going to make everything that we just talked about. I have to go to the store. I have to go get thyme, so I have time to make the jollof rice. I need to get the raisins because that's going to be added into my Liberian rice bread, banana rice bread. And I need to get some pepper to make it nice and spicy. Once I do that, just hit subscribe, click the notification bell, so that you know when the next video is. It will be this week. And I can briefly go over the recipe again, but it'll be this week because my green beans are in there and I don't want them to go bad. It's all fresh stuff that I got, so I don't want it to go bad. And I'm waiting for my bananas to ripen for the bread. So exciting. And then at the end, I will let you know what I'm going to do for myself is I'm actually going to try the food before we do the video. And then I'm going to do what I do every week with my meals, and I'm going to freeze my meals. That's what I do every week. And then at the end of the week when I have time, we're going to come back together on the 27th. And we're going to talk about what we learned about Liberia. I'm going to give you about 5 different things that I learned about Liberia through various books and resources. And then we're going to travel to our next country. So in the Around the World travel group, we actually have a country we're going to next. It's in Europe. And we're going to go there. But first, because it's March, because we have St. Patrick's Day, I thought we would go to Ireland. So I'm already giving you a clue of where we're going next. I thought we would just go to Ireland and just make a nice stew, Irish stew, and maybe a bread or two or a dessert for Ireland for this month, for the month of March. In my Facebook group, we're going to go to our country. I'm actually going to give it to you. I won't give you any clues. I won't make you guess what it is because it won't be until the month of April that we celebrate. But I'm going to Bulgaria in my group. In the Around the World Facebook group. And so I'm going to start with my group talking about what I already know about Bulgaria, which is not a lot. Just like I didn't know much about Liberia, I don't know a lot about Bulgaria, but I'm so excited to be traveling to this new place, virtually, of course. Someday I would love to be able to have the money and the resources to travel the world. That would be amazing. But for now, I am really enjoying learning about these countries online, just using the resources that are online to learn the World Wide Web, to learn about different countries around the world. So we're going to do an Irish stew in March. So we'll start, right now we're in Liberia, it's February. We'll do our Liberia cook-along. We'll talk about what I learned about Liberia. And then in the month of March, I'm going to take this YouTube channel and we're going to make an Irish stew and dessert. And then the next month, we're going to be in Bulgaria. And so we'll pick a recipe for Bulgaria. So have a wonderful day. click the notifications, click subscribe, click subscribe, and join me for the next video, which is going to be the cook along. All right, have a wonderful day.